welcome to TalkFCB and FC Barcelona once again for the 8th time in 11 seasons. We are La Liga champions, and I have to say, it has been very, very well deserved. Over the course of the season so far, we have been the most consistent team. Week upon week upon week, we've got ourselves results, just like we did tonight, really, just like we did last weekend against Real Sociedad. It wasn't particularly pretty, it wasn't even that convincing tonight, but we did get over the line, and in league format, that will certainly get the job done. Very, very well deserved. Barcelona can celebrate. Finally now, we've got our hands on it. We are champions, and rightly so. But of course, today we are going to be talking more about that Levante game in more detail, simply because not only about tonight's performance, but also looking ahead to Liverpool. What can we learn from today? Who did we see out on the pitch? Who got that rest? All of that is going to be discussed. Barcelona 1, Levante 0, and of course, that man stepping off the bench, scoring the title-clinching goal. Lionel Messi at the very heart of it. He got us over the line, but how did the rest do? That is the big question. And I have to say, guys, coming into this game, if you'd have said at the start of it, we're going to rest a load of players and we're going to win this game 1-0 and wrap up the La Liga title ahead of Liverpool, I would have said that's absolutely brilliant, that's fantastic. VALVERDE, job well done. The problem was tonight, we've scraped over the line by a goal to nil, wasn't convincing, particularly towards the end, very, very nervy, and we've actually done that with a pretty much full-strength side. Yes, Messi started on the bench, so did Sergio Busquets, but you look at this team here, Ter Stegen, Alba, Longley, Piqué, Semedo. I was really surprised to see Longley and Gerard Piqué starting there in the defensive area. Rakitic holding, Arthur, Vidal, Coutinho from the left, Suarez and Dembélé. And you look at that team there is not much rest there for the players who are out there, and I was surprised really how strong Valverde went. And even in the second half then, you saw Lionel Messi come on, and surprisingly, Felipe Coutinho go off. Messi went, of course, into the central area, Dembélé more there out towards the right, and Vidal was making those runs there into the advancing areas. Also coming on, of course, Sergio Busquets came on, and towards the end, also Sergi Roberto. And I think, to be honest, we didn't really rest anyone. So I don't really understand tonight the thinking behind that from Valverde. Yes, of course, he wanted to win the league, and we have done that. It's job well done, like I say, very much deserved. But ahead of that Wednesday game, have we really got a lot of confidence tonight? Not really. Have we rested anybody? Not really. I'm not really sure of the thinking behind that, and it doesn't really fill me with confidence looking at that performance today. But of course, you have to bear in mind, this may be a team really holding back, really conserving energy, and we may see a completely different side come Wednesday, and that could definitely happen. But just on tonight's display, it wasn't the best from Barcelona. In the first half, I was actually very happy with what I saw from Felipe Coutinho. From the off, he was looking confident, he was picking the ball up in space, more central tonight, of course. No Messi, he allowed a lot more space in that central area. Coutinho was using that, he beat his man early on, he had a good shot on goal, goalkeeper parried it, and then just a moment later, he put a phenomenal ball into the area, which deserved to be a goal, really. Longley at the back post, couldn't just quite get onto it, and Coutinho then right throughout the first half, he had a number of shots, a few from outside the area, he had a header from the middle of the box that was saved, a few times, no doubt about it, he should have scored, he definitely should have been leaving this game today with a goal or even two, but ultimately Coutinho was looking more confident. I don't think, of course, the end product at times was what you wanted, but you want to see him getting on the ball, and you want to see him looking good and looking confident. And again, I don't really understand why he's taken off at half-time. Messi comes on, Coutinho comes off, just when you thought maybe he was growing into the game, he was growing in confidence, Messi comes on, Coutinho's off, and that there is the end of that. And the other thing that I'd really highlight, two things actually from today's game. Number one, Luis Suarez once again here has played the full 90 minutes. If there was one player coming into this game who you say he needed a rest, he desperately needed some time away from the pitch, you would say it's Suarez, no doubt about that. And nothing I saw tonight made me think otherwise. He didn't really look any better for the game tonight. He didn't really look as though it helped him in any way. I think he needed some time out, and he wasn't given that today. And then I move on to Dembélé. Dembélé tonight for me, I don't really understand what the problem is there, because quite frankly, we aren't giving him the ball. We're not really acknowledging Dembélé in a lot of situations. Now in the second half when Messi came on, we were finding him a lot more often, and he was slipping over at times. It wasn't good. Dembélé tonight wasn't at his absolute best once again. That's not ideal, but in the first half particularly, he makes some fantastic runs. He was out on the right hand side. Semedo is the only one really who likes to link up with him a lot, but other than that, they don't really look up and see Dembélé in space. They don't really try try and find him in those kind of areas. And it just sort of left me thinking, really, what is the situation there with Dembélé coming back into the team now? I think we need to find him more often, because when he's on the ball, when he's running at players, he can be extremely dangerous. He can create space for others. He can create things for Suarez, for Messi. When we get in the ball, he can do things with it, but you have to get it to him. He's going to make the runs. You've got to find him. And particularly today, we didn't really see that. And also the same sort of thing happened against Real Sociedad as well. So that's just something to think of there ahead of that Liverpool game. But ultimately, guys, we had a lot of shots on the night. I think in and around the box, we were certainly sloppy. There was a lot of times the ball was played into the area. We were in space. We had a chance to shoot, but we delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. Took too much time in and around the box. Too much time. We tried to overplay. You had a few times when Dembélé did get the ball and he was trying to give it straight back to Messi, or the same with Suarez. And sometimes you've got to take on the shot. Rakitic had a shot, a snapshot, something like that there, and he very, very nearly scored. And of course, out of every single player on that pitch, it was only going to be Lionel Messi, the man stepping off the bench. I don't really understand, yet again, to be honest, why he was on the bench in the first place if he was rested against Alaves. If you were going to put him on the bench in this game and again bring him on, why did he do the same against Alaves? Either rest him for entirely for one game or start him here. I don't really understand again why we're dragging Messi off the bench here. Why not just start him if he's going to play anyway? Because of course he came on, he was lively, he was the only player really in that final third who looked like scoring the clinical finish that we saw from him for the goal, and it was absolutely brilliant from Messi, of course. It started with Dembélé himself. It was a phenomenal dribble out on the left-hand side. Somehow he got out of a really tight zone, surrounded by players. He gets out of there, he moves onto the centre, he gets into the area, it's bouncing around, he loses possession, but then it comes to Vidal, who wins it, plays it to Messi inside the box, and Messi's the only player tonight who was calm enough there to take his time, but also know exactly in his mind what he was going to do. He just waited for the defenders, he took that step inside, he eyed at the goalkeeper, who was very, very good on the night for Levante, and Messi there, sliding it past him, cool, calm, collected, as he has been right throughout the entire season, the top goal scorer in La Liga, the top goal scorer right around Europe. That is Lionel Messi, and tonight he delivered the La Liga title, and he was the one really, once again, making the difference. And like I said earlier, guys, towards the end of the game there with Levante, they certainly grew in confidence. They brought Morales, their star player, off the bench. They were resting him. He was brought on for them, and certainly they put a lot of pressure on us in the final stages. Ter Stegen was forced into quite a few saves to really keep them out. They had one against the post. It was really, really nervy inside the Camp Nou. And again, it just doesn't fill me with confidence. You think about Liverpool, you think about Wednesday, how hard they're going to push us, how they're going to press us, how they're really going to try and make us nervous like that. And Levante were doing the same. And I don't know tonight if it was because they really wanted to get the job done. They really wanted to secure the league title tonight and get it done, get it out the way. I think there was certainly an element of that. The fans are certainly very nervous. I don't really understand that either. That didn't help the players. And I think ultimately, we just need to put this one behind us. We just need to say, we've won the title. That is what we wanted here. That is the end result we've all been waiting for. And now let's move on. Let's move on away from the league, away from all of that. Now we can focus 100% primarily here on Liverpool. That is all in our mind. That is all we want to think about now. Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. I'm going to have so many videos coming up. We are going to talk about every single element of that game because we have to win this. We've won the league. Now let's back it up with Europe. Let's go into this semi-final here. We need to improve. We need to improve massively. We need to really step it up. Liverpool, of course, coming into this game, they played a day earlier than we did. They played a strong team as well against Huddersfield, but they had a lot more confidence coming into this one. They won that game 5-0. It was bouncing at Anfield. They were really feeling good. A lot of different players got their name on the score sheet, and they'll come to the Camp Nou full of belief. We need to counter that with the pure Barcelona brilliance that we know we can produce. We know deep there somewhere there is a team, and certainly the players, to make it happen in that semi-final. We can win that game. Make no mistake about it, but we have to see that Barcelona rise to the occasion. We have to see a group of players who can find it within themselves after a very, very long season to really find that energy and that desire to go out there on Wednesday and make that game happen. The first leg is going to be absolutely crucial at the Camp Nou at home, giving ourselves the best advantage that we possibly can do going to Anfield. It's a massive, massive game, and like I say, that's all we can think about right now. And what's important here is that we do put this game behind us. Just because we didn't play well tonight, and we really, really didn't against Levante, just because we didn't play well tonight doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be the same team turning up against Liverpool. I'm sure it's going to change. I'm sure we're going to improve. We will have to massively, and I really hope that we do. Valverde has a lot to think about, a lot to do. His job right now is getting us as ready as he possibly can be, and he's got some massive decisions to make, and he has to step up too. It's a massive game for him up against Jurgen Klopp. Barcelona, They have to arrive. So that was my thoughts tonight on the game at the Camp Nou, which saw us become La Liga champions once again. And of course, that in itself is a reason to celebrate a season of hard work, week upon week upon week. Like I say, that consistency really has been unrivaled right throughout the Spanish season. We have been on top, and we will remain there. La Liga champions. The Camp Nou is in celebration mode. What we have to make sure is that continues on Wednesday. We want more. Yes, we do. I'll see you very soon indeed, guys, with more videos. Leave your thoughts on today's performance and look ahead at that game on Wednesday in the comments down below. I will see you soon. Make no mistake about it. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.